Hi everyone, welcome to Gruesome Twosome Reviews. We are the Putreds, and we review everything horror and cult. So today we have a little something special for you guys. Halloween has made its comeback, and the month of October is filled with creepy creatures, scary movies, and all the candy to rot the teeth out of your little heads. So, the question is, what do you do for the rest of the year when you want to keep it creepy? Well, today we are going to give you a list of movies that is guaranteed to keep you thrilled and chilled. So,
Yes.
in no particular order, let's get rid of these Halloween blues. So, first up, we have the 1980 version of Maniac.
Ooh.
And what we're going to do here is go ahead and just give you a little bit of a description of what they're about. And you can go and try to find these movies, and we highly recommend that you do, especially to get rid of these Halloween blues. So, in Maniac, the 1981, don't get it confused with the one that is from the 1930s or the 60s or the newest adaptation. I forget what year it's from, but it's
With
got Elijah Wood in it.
yeah, and that
Um,
one's a good one though. Not
yes,
gonna
it
lie.
is. But for this one, we picked an old classic here that is definitely guaranteed to disturb. Um, so we have the deranged antagonist Frank, who's played by the ever so creepy Joe Spinell, um, that has the unusual hobby of murdering and scalping women. His motive? He has mommy issues.
Mm.
So, moving on to our second.
you know, speaking of mommy issues, we have Inside. Oh yeah.
And the French title for that, and I'm so sorry for mispronouncing this, is La Intérieur. I do not speak French, so at least I tried. But yes.
Yeah, this one's it's a fast-paced gore fest. It's a French movie, obviously. It's a home invasion horror film about a pregnant widow who's being tormented by a mysterious woman that wants her unborn child.
Yeah, this is a
Ooh.
heavy plot.
Oh
So,
yeah.
this one is definitely, obviously in the home invasion and just psycho killer uh, subgenre there. So definitely worth checking out.
And
So,
pretty good practical effects and some really good gore effects in there
oh,
too.
definitely a great story. So at our third pick, we have Don't Torture a Duckling. So before horror master slash director of Italian classics such as The Beyond and Zombie, Lucio Fulci created a Giallo, an Italian slasher for those who do not know the term, where a small town is puzzled by the deaths of several young boys. The mystery keeps you guessing, and the reveal is unexpected. The gore is uniquely Fulci, but in this one, we unfortunately don't get an iconic eyeball gouging.
but we do get some pretty good kills and some really ambitious effects.
Yes.
And it's one of Fulci's better yellows.
Yes. So, at number 4, we're going to mix it up a little bit with Hatchet.
This one's a really fun movie. Um, it basically follows a bunch of tourists who embark on a tour of the bayou at night after Mardi Gras. When they start hearing tales about the local folklore legend Victor Crowley. Um, it's just an insanely hilarious gore fest that pays tribute to the 80s splatter fests of, yesteryear, and has really good cameos by some iconic actors and actresses of the genre.
Yes. So, Moving on, at number 5, we have the movie Imprint. And this one is obviously notorious because it was banned, the banned installment of the Masters of Horror television series. In this one, director Takashi Miike delivers a gruesome yet tragic period piece about lust, cruelty, and vengeance. Clocking in at a little over an hour, this installment is disturbing as it is a perfect little nasty piece that will keep your eyes glued to the screen till its very bloody end. Now,
So,
this one is it was banned for a reason, and it is totally acceptable as to why it was banned. It's a very controversial movie.
yeah. Um,
Very violent.
We've seen worse from Mike.
Yes.
Like, we've seen way more crazier stuff,
but this is
banned from television.
Banned from television. It
We
wasn't.
get it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, squaring off this list here is something for all you Rocky Horror fans here. It is not Rocky Horror, but Phantom of the Paradise. Ooh. Now, this is literally an amazing rock and roll horror musical that, deals with a disgruntled composer who literally just gets double crossed by this record tycoon / producer, now club owner. And he's out for revenge, and it becomes literally Phantom of the Opera, but with rock and roll.
I love that. It's a really great movie. Like he was just saying, for all you Rocky Horror fans, if you don't know where to go from Rocky Horror, because I am a major Rocky Horror, let's just say I'm mildly obsessed, maybe. I pull out the soundtrack right now. Yes, I do have the soundtrack. So, you kind of don't know where to go from Rocky Horror. Of course, there's shock treatment, but that doesn't really add up to Rocky Horror's level of just pure genius.
Yeah.
Richard O'Brien. But this is probably the next step for all of you. I was completely satisfied and completely surprised that I actually might like Phantom of the Paradise a little more than Rocky Horror.
And Brian De Palma really delivers in that movie.
Yes.
And it's crazy because you think Brian De Palma and you think of all of his other movies that he's really well known for. Scarface, basically.
Yeah.
But,
it's not Scarface, so don't worry.
Phantom of the Paradise is one of those things where, like we said, if you're just really into Rocky Horror and you just need your Rocky Horror fix from something that's not Rocky Horror, strongly suggest Phantom of the Paradise. It's a really good Halloween movie. I would say so myself.
Yes.
But you should continue.
Okay. With our number 7 pick, we have Dr. Butcher MD, better known as Zombie Holocaust.
We'll do it this way too. Ooh.
Yeah, so you see like the typical cover you would normally see. That's the one I know. I've never seen the actual Dr. Butcher.
Yeah, I had to flip it around to this because
I
think that's a cool cover.
Yeah, it is super cool. So this is not to be confused with Lucio Fulci's Zombie or the exploitation mock doc Cannibal Holocaust. This movie covers two people that are visiting an island of native cannibals that uncover the truth about a mad doctor and his maniacal plan to unleash a horde of zombies. So yes, it does have its similarities to both movies. It's kind of both movies combined.
Yeah.
But it's a little different.
And it has some very ambitious, effects, and some really cheesy and I don't know. I really can't tell you because I don't want to give it away. So you're just going to have to watch it. And if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to someone jumping out of a building. So onward to our next number 8 is Alice, Sweet Alice. Now, if you have a fear of kids, This is actually a really good movie to check out.
Killer Kids.
Killer Kids. Um, it's a it's a twisted murder mystery that begins with the murder of a young Catholic girl, and her sister is being blamed. She is prime suspect, and it just continues from there. I don't really want to say much about it because
Yeah.
the end and the reveal of this movie is it's a pretty good one. It's a sick, twisted little piece of cinema goodness, and it's something that will crawl under your skin, especially with the imagery.
Yes. So moving on. Number 9, we have Return of the Living Dead 3.
A little unconventional.
Yes, very unconventional. But, we had to add it, especially with the current recognition of this movie that people are actually, I've seen it quite often this year that people are really praising this movie. So I just checked it out yesterday. And it made it to our list. So, following the Return franchise, this third installment actually does top the original sequel, Return of the Living Dead 2. And, we won't even mention Necropolis or Rave to the Grave. No, okay. So this would be a very suiting sequel for the original Return of the Living Dead. And this offers us more insight to the government's sick human experiments using the chemical trioxin, as well as insight as to why zombies crave brains.
And not only that, but I mean, it's not a perfect film by any means necessary, but it's such a fun, campy movie that actually has some moments where you feel for the characters, which is something that Part 2 really missed because it just seemed like a live-action Saturday morning cartoons involving zombies. Now,
yes,
it does have some memorable moments, I'm not gonna lie, but it's far and few compared to Return of the Living Dead 3.
Yes.
So, our last and final pick is...
Drum roll, please.
That's where you hear the drum roll. We'll edit the drum roll in. No, I'm kidding. Without further ado, Santa Sangre. This movie right here is a really great take on slashers. Where do I go from here? It's a unique pick, especially for this list. It's not one that most people would probably think of when they think of movies for Halloween, or to cure your Halloween blues.
Yeah, because this one isn't necessarily a horror film as much as it is a cult film and a surrealist film. Yes, it does have the slasher elements, but it's definitely a very unique pick for this
and
list.
It has such an amazing dreamlike quality to it. We literally follow this child who had some very traumatic experience, in his father's circus, as well as some horrible traumatic experience he had with his mother, who worships a saint by the name of Santa Sangre, who is a schoolgirl with no arms who bleeds.
Yes. Please stick with us.
And it's a really good, very surreal movie. Like I said, it's a very interesting take on slashers, especially since it doesn't come off as your atypical conventional slasher. You actually follow these characters and just see where this one character himself specifically just grows up and what happens and everything else. Don't want to give it away. I really do not, because this is one of those movies I do highly recommend.
Yes, it's a really great mixture of surrealism, murder, insanity, and it'll indulge anyone's thirst for surrealism as well as slashers.
Yes.
So, that does conclude our list. So I hope that our list will get you through those Halloween blues. And it might not last until next year, but we're still going to come out with more reviews. So don't worry. We got you here at Gruesome Twosome Reviews. So I think that's a wrap.
Yep. So see you next time.